Hello, everybody. It's Mandy at Laugh and Grackle. We are doing an update on what's been going on for the past 4 days. The fun truck stuff. So, um, hubby doesn't want to be in the video, so he's got his mic
Oh,
on.
I haven't shaved in 4 days, and I look like a Neanderthal man.
I think we both feel that way. But we started out at a TA, the one that we're at now, because we're picking up our empty here that somebody ended up dropping and picked up our load to take.
Yeah, we were supposed to be going to Lockburn, Ohio. When we reached around Springfield, Missouri, and the truck decided to say, hey, you've got a big problem, and we're going to cut you back to 55 mile an hour. You can't go any faster than 55. Well, I'm not driving all the way to Ohio at 55 mile an hour. Besides, once it does that, you only have so much time before it cuts you back to 5 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been having a very, very, very rough 4 days.
So we pulled in here, hoping that they were competent enough to fix the problem. That was big hopes. Should not have hoped that much. They were able to take care of the basic stuff. They got my steer tires balanced after, well, they had to replace the steer tires because the two I had were out of round and couldn't be balanced.
Now, what is out of round?
Just lump. Basically, when he rolled it across the floor, it would go thump, 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 thump.
Think of a big bubble on the side of it.
No, not quite like that on this case. This was actually in the tread. It was like a flat spot or a lump in the tread where the cables broke.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So no, not in this case. It wasn't like one of those big bulges out the side of the tire. This was like a lump in the tread, a flat spot in the tread. But it just would not balance out, so we had to get new tires.
New rims.
No, we didn't get new rims.
We got rims.
No.
Okay.
Because the tires allowed it to balance out. All right, Boots, you're going to step on the buttons. Don't do that, little van.
What are you doing?
Anyway, so we got that. Got the first oil change since the engine was rebuilt, which was past due for that. Because you're supposed to do that much earlier with a fresh rebuild than what I did. And that had to have all 4 starting batteries replaced. Now this truck takes 8 batteries altogether. 4 are in the back for the APU portion of the truck, which is what keeps us with air conditioning and everything when we're parked without running the engine. And then the other 4 are up front for starting the engine up. Well, I needed all 4 starting batteries replaced. Okay, well, I guess you saw the video went crazy. Now this is our 3rd attempt to try to finish off this video. Round 3.
Still working
Fight.
the same way.
Like I said, good batteries replaced. The TA was absolutely useless at diagnosing my truck. So we had to drive the truck at 5 miles an hour all the way to the dealership, which was 10 miles away. Now, you would think, oh, well, that ain't bad, just 10 miles. But if you do the math, 10 miles at 5 miles an hour is 2 hours of driving.
Fun.
People lining up behind you, people passing you when they shouldn't be passing. I was afraid that somebody was going to get killed. But, so I was getting stressed out because of all the people around me stressing me out. But we made it without incident. Got checked in there. They said the problem was what I thought it was. Definitely not what the TA wanted to replace. But then it turns out that wasn't the problem. The emission system on these trucks are pretty complicated. There's what's called the DPF, which is a diesel particulate filter, and then the DEF. I don't even freaking remember what that stands for, but it's an abbreviation for something. It's another type of filter. The DPF filters out carbon particles out of the exhaust. All the black. You know, you see it, these dumbasses in their pickup trucks rolling coal. That is carbon coming out of their exhaust. Well, I have a filter that traps all that. And then when that filter gets full, it dumps diesel fuel in there onto it and to heat it up and burn it into an ash into the bottom of the filter. And eventually the filter has to be taken out and cleaned. Or replaced, depending on the condition of the filter. But they were wanting to replace the part that dumps the diesel fuel into the DPF when that was working. That was doing what it was supposed to. There was no codes for that part.
It. Yeah.
The codes were for the part of the exhaust after that, the DEF, which is basically pee and water that gets squirted into the exhaust. Don't ask me how it all works exactly, but when you basically piss in your exhaust, it comes out, your exhaust comes out as nothing but nitrogen and water. That's it. And all the bad, nasty stuff that would kill you is gone. That's why I don't even have an exhaust stack that runs up the side of the truck anymore. My exhaust ends almost right under the back of my cab. Because the emissions from it are harmless. You can stick your nose up to it. It won't hurt you.
Don't smell so great, but...
And don't do it during a regen.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because it's super hot then.
And then it yells at you.
But yeah, the regen is pretty violent.
And it shakes and it sputters.
Well, it's putting the engine under an artificial load if it's doing it while it's parked, because it has to bring the exhaust temperature up really high. The exhaust temperature reaches over 1,000 degrees during a regen to burn all that carbon out of the filter. But it was my DEF part that was bad. Now, here's the thing. The DEF part has nothing to do with the running of my truck. My truck, if I was just to undo the DEF altogether, my truck would run just as good as it does now. No problem. Except that because the law requires my truck to have it, to be able to have the proper emissions, they make it where if something goes wrong with the DEF system, it derates what was called derating your truck, cutting back your speed, first to 55, and then if you don't get it fixed fast enough, to 5 miles an hour. Because otherwise, if they didn't do that, nobody would ever fix it. Because it has no effect on your engine whatsoever. So the only reason I was driving 5 miles an hour over to the dealership is because of government regulations.
Fun time.
And now, just yesterday, I read an article where they're talking about changing that so that it doesn't restrict us.
Of course.
Now that it's too late. But they get it. It's not the NOx sensor, which is the sensor at the back of the DEF sensor. There's one at the front and there's one at the back. Just like you have an O2 sensor upstream and downstream in your car, the upstream monitors the amount of nitrogen in the exhaust, in my case, oxygen in your car, in your case, before it enters the DEF system in my truck or your catalytic converter in your car. And then the downstream measures it on the way out to make sure that system is working properly. Well, the downstream sensor was the one that wasn't reading right. So that's why we thought it needed to be replaced. It was near the end of its service life. It does only have so long of a service life, and then it has to be replaced, whether it's working or not, because again, it's part of the regulations to make sure that system is always working properly. When that sensor gets so old, it requires to be replaced. It's required to be replaced.
Remember all the rules and regulations that we were talking about? Yeah, this is a part of it.
So it needed to be replaced anyway, but it didn't fix the problem. Come to find out, they had to tear down further and found out that a Jake solenoid was stuck open. The Jake solenoid is part of the system for the Jake brakes. The thing that you hear the truck going down the road
Stop.
going. The sound of my people. Well, it's one of the solenoids was stuck open, causing the emissions. It was restricting the exhaust and causing the sensors to read wrong. So they replaced that. By the time with diagnosing parts, I also had a temperature sensor. The ambient air temperature sensor needed to be replaced because it was telling me to watch for ice in 90-degree weather at times. And
yeah, it didn't know what season it was in.
Well, it used to be the engine had its own ambient air temperature sensor, and then the cab had its own. Well, they've gotten cheap, and now they just go off the cab's ambient air temperature sensor. So with that temperature sensor reading off wrong, the engine was, when it was reading wrong, was running under the parameters for that cold temperature and not the hot temperature, which means more or less fuel getting dumped in or something, regen working differently, several different things not working like they should because that temperature sensor was going in and out, in and out, in and out all the time. Yeah. So I had to have that replaced. And then we also ended up with an error on our ABS sensor on our rear wheel. I think everybody knows what ABS is. Analog brake system. Come to find out, Freightliner did not design the sensors properly, and they come up with a new sensor that works better, doesn't have issues like that one did, but of course that meant I needed to replace all of the sensors all around the truck to update them. And that was expensive. By the time we got done at the dealership, it was another $4,500. So let's add this up. $1,500 that we know of at the TA, because I don't know what the tires cost. Can only speculate. $4,500 at the dealership. That's $6,000. And now we can expect the tires to come in somewhere around $1,000 to $1,500.
Now break that down to per tire.
Well, there's 2 tires, so split that in half. 1,500 or 1,500, maybe 750 per tire. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yes, you heard that right.
I spent around $7,000 to $7,500 in 4 days, and I was down for 4 days. So remember that I lost money every day. Yeah. I was down as well.
You're not rolling. You're not making money.
You know, that's $300 or $400 a day of loss of revenue on top of that. So that's another $1,200, $1,500 I lost by being down. So altogether, what? I'm out about $9,000 for 4 days when you count what I lost in revenue and what I spent on the truck. So this has not been a good week.
No, it has not.
I have been frustrated. I have been screaming, yelling, cussing
I wanted to
at
smack
everything.
him. Yeah, wanted to smack him.
I'm surprised she didn't. She likes smacking me anyway. But anyway, well, let's not talk about that part of our lives. But our critters did good.
Yeah, they did very good compared to, not having any space.
That's the thing is, these dealerships aren't pet friendly.
No, they're not. We weren't supposed to have our pets indoors.
Yeah, we weren't even supposed to have a door in the building. They let us bring in the cats because we said we keep them in a carrier.
Nope.
Well, we didn't today, but we did every other day.
Yeah, that's true.
There was one day they spent 9 hours in the carrier.
Yeah.
9 hours. But they did so good.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't even go to the bathroom in the carrier. They did so well.
Yeah.
And Dora did so good when she was finally allowed to be in the building. She only barked once, and that was at the cats because she was playing with them, which we're going to upload the videos for that here in just a minute after this. But yeah, our critters did good.
Very good.
This is the first time the kittens have experienced the shop.
Yeah.
They've hardly ever even been out of the truck since we got them.
Yeah.
So
they've done very well.
It was a new adventure for them.
So they've been getting treats every night. All 3 of them.
I do have plans on getting a kitty playpen that was enclosed that I could take in a place like that, and so they'll still be kept up, but they'll be able to run around inside the playpen and have fun.
Yeah.
I just wasn't prepared this time. I wasn't expecting to be broke down this soon after getting them. So we're working on it, and
we're slowly getting there.
Anyway, I guess look for the video coming up, and she'll talk yak at you afterwards. Get you. Poor girl's itchy.
I've got the peanut butter in. Vinegar over there.
Get him, Dora. Go get him. Go get him. Oh, there's the other one. Go get him. Get him. Shh. No barking. No barking. Eat. Poor girl's itchy.
I've got the peanut butter. Well, I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Hopefully, we'll just end up, shutting down completely tonight and just restart tomorrow. I'm not real sure. But,
yeah, we don't have a load yet. We'll get one sometime in the morning, most likely.
yeah. And Dora actually started playing with both of the kittens today, so she's done very well.
That is the first time she has played with Diego.
Yeah.
She, as you saw in our last Get to Know Your Reader, you saw the video of her playing with Boots in the hotel, but this was the first time she got to play with Diego.
Yeah.
Diego didn't know what to think about it at first.
No, not at all. He was like, oh my God, she's going to step on me.
Because she ain't never acted like that towards us. She's never even paid him really any attention.
True.
Until now.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But then he realized, oh, she's playing. Okay.
She's playing with us. I like this. Yeah.
I hope everybody's enjoying my videos. I got some good ones coming up. I already have drawn the cards and know what I'm doing. So come on back Friday and Saturday and you can hear me at least act like a fool.
Yeah.
Just don't take none of my advice. None of it. It's not recommended. I am an asshole.
Yeah, I married him. Kind of grew up in a whole house,
Well, her
a whole family.
her dad's a bigger
assholes.
asshole than I am. That's not a surprise. So,
Yeah. Okay, is that it, Daddy?
That's it.
All right. We'll see you guys later.